Good morning, friends. We are back at work and I am so excited about this big new work development. We started a book subscription service, and from the very beginning I told my boss that I would love to be a part of that and help her curate the books for people that subscribe to said service. And it's finally up and running. I've been brought into the fold and I am picking out books for people, and this is just so exciting. Fun to put your book knowledge to good use, especially when it comes to very specific book recommendations. I don't know, I'm just really excited about this. So I found out this morning and I was like, I can't wait to come into work. So this is an example of one of the people that I'm now thinking about what to recommend. So they say, so we send out a little form, questionnaire thing, so that we have an idea of what the, okay, we got interrupted. But anyways, yeah, so anybody who is interested in the service, we send out a little questionnaire so we know a little bit more about their reading taste, what they would like to read, then we pick accordingly. So this is an example of a person that I'm working on right now. So they say they enjoy books with a lyrical and poetic use of language, vivid descriptions of place or scene, observations of beauty of small things, good character development, books that show a change in a person, and believable dialogue. So that is my task. If you have any suggestions, please write them downstairs for me. But yeah, I'm just so stoked to be doing this, and we've got, how many people? I've got 13 people to pick their March books for them. So yeah, that'll be my day. And I have to write a little description as to why I think this is a fitting recommendation, and then send them off to the boss to be approved. So yeah, welcome to another reading vlog. I thought we would start off the week at work because it's appropriate, obviously. I've still been reading The Passion of New Eve very intermittently because the writing is so good, but it's a book that you have to really parse through and be very intentional with your reading. It's not a book that you can just passively consume, which is good. I just don't want to miss a single beat. So yeah, that's my day. I will check back in a little bit. Hi friends. So I'm home, but I'm working on my book subscription task that I mentioned already. And I just have to, I'm not going to obviously say the name of this person because I don't want to expose them, but it's it's just too good, and I just have to share. Here, I've been drawn to male writers and male-centered stories, and then in parentheses, I'm a cis white man, but I've tried to balance that with female and LGBTQ authors and stories. And then, so then he gives me books that he's read recently. Of course, Jonathan Franzen is on there. I could have told you that. What else has he read? Oh, The Body Keeps Us Core. Okay, 21 Things You May Not Know About the Indian Act. Cool. He does say he wants to read more Indigenous lit. Anyways, okay, that's beside the point, but one of the questions that we ask is, are there any genres or subjects you would like to read more of or know more about? And he's like, rarely do I read sexy things, but I always find myself enjoying them. Well, so I read that and I instantly thought of yesterday when I was arranging our erotica section because it's grown quite a bit. And so I'm like, do I really just go out on a limb and suggest The Lover, the Lake? Now I've only read certain little snippets of it while I've been at work, and it just sounds so good. And it would tie in with him wanting to read more female authors. The author of The Lover, the Lake is an Indigenous woman from Quebec. And it says here, the time when Indigenous people were being dispossessed of their land and history, as well as their relationships to the body, they still are. The love explored by the two main characters is an act of defiance. Their intimate connection plays out on the shores of Lake Abitibi in an affair as turbulent and unfathomable as the lake itself. That sounds pretty good, if I do say so myself. So I feel like I should, Homeboy went out of his way to say that he likes sexy things when he could have literally said anything else under the sun. I kind of want to lean into that and just suggest The Lover, the Lake. I don't know, but if anyone's read that, please let me know. I think I honestly may have to buy it next time I'm at work, or just continue to read little snippets of it, because I did like what I read. But anyways, as for what I'm reading, started Sheila Heti's Motherhood last night, and it reads super fast. I think I got into bed at like 7 and I only read for an hour and a half, and I got through like good chunk of it. I was just really into it. Like I said, it has a really calming, rhythmic feel to it. I'm really enjoying it so far. I didn't know it was going to be experimental in the way that it's written. I'm sure you've heard before, but the main voice flips a coin and she proposes these questions to the universe, or I guess the whatever the coin. So a lot of the passages in the book have to do with she's like engaging in conversation with these questions and the answers that are given to her through the coin flipping. But not only is that kind of interesting, but she also includes photography into the text, which is really quite nice. And it makes for a really pleasant and engaging reading experience, like I said. So I didn't really expect that at all. And already she's just diving right on into the subject of motherhood, and the intention to write about it comes from the conversations that she's having with various people in her life around mothering and that choice that we have and what that means. She's pulling these kind of anecdotes or these conversations that she's having in real life and kind of unpacking and engaging more critically with not only her own perspective or her own feelings, but those of other people in her life. So it's really sucking me in. I can't wait to do more reading and come to you with more thoughts, but for now I'm just gonna stick to my book subscription. A little task here, and I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm at my dad's studio, but we brought our book. And I'm also going to practice a little bit of flamenco, because I always like to come here before class just so I can like brush up on the routine, because I'm in the advanced class and it's kind of kicking my butt, but it's like such a good challenge. So I love it. However, we definitely have to practice overtime. So I always like to warm up before my class starts. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just here by myself, and it's perfect because I can make as much noise as I want, and it's fine because there's nobody around at this hour. So, but I came extra early, so I think I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, and then I will do my routine and then head to my flamenco class. But yeah, just wanted to update you and dance away. Hi friends, so I'm just sitting down doing a little afternoon reading, and I just thought this was really lovely. For the first time I started to highlight. Now I only have this intense highlighter from my college days left, which looks like this, and I'm just reading away. And coincidentally, whoever owned this book before me also thought to highlight, and they used a nice little pink highlighter, and it was just such a lovely surprise to see what they have underlined. And now I realize that there's a few more underlined sentences and passages in the book, which I love. They underlined, "Now that I know, happiness and joy are feeling like you belong to the world and are at home in the world at the level of nature, humanity, and time." That is really sweet. Anyway, the joys of purchasing a used book and finding what little treasures may lie within. That's awesome. So anyways, wow. There's some really gorgeous meditations on not just motherhood, but just life in general. And it's been a really lovely, calming read. And I think I chose the perfect time to read a book like this. So yeah. I'm really enjoying myself. What a lovely little afternoon. I encourage you to get into bed at like 3 and do some reading because it's lovely. Speaking of doing things in bed, Do any of you eat chips in bed by any chance? More specifically, kettle chips in bed, because that is my guilty pleasure. And it's guilty because Charlie doesn't let me eat chips in bed, but now that I'm alone for a couple months, you best believe I'm gonna be eating chips in bed. So Charlie, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. Wow, the lighting is atrocious at this time. Yikes. Let me get my ring light because I actually did buy it for a reason. BRB. Am I really just gonna hold the ring light with my hand? Wow, this is so low budget. Jesus Christ. Well, let's try and not blab so you don't have to look at this clip for too long. I am just here eating some double stuffed Oreos. It's all about balance, folks, okay? You saw me eat my nice little tofu lunch, which, by the way, I had seconds. I realized that plate looked kind of small and I don't want anyone to worry. But anyways, I went to the grocery store yesterday, and for Family Day, they were giving out free packs of Oreo. Bizarre, but okay, I'll take it. I typically leave Oreos as a US treat. I always found that the Oreos in the States taste better than the Canadian Oreos. If anyone thinks the same, please let me know. But anyways, I'm just eating my Oreos, and I actually bought cow's milk in order to dunk them because I soon found out that for whatever reason, oat milk does not soften the cookies. This had to be done. I'm also here reading Motherhood, and I thought I would give a little progress update now that I'm farther along than I was when we first spoke. You know what, let me just do this blind so you don't have to look at the annoying light. But I am enjoying it a lot more than How Should a Person Be, that's for sure. Oh God, my cat has the zoomies. If you start hearing him, I just fed you, boo-boo. God, kids these days, they just want more and more and more. But anyways, where were we? I find the topic at hand incredibly interesting. It's something that I discuss with my own friends constantly, and it's nice to see similar thoughts or, yeah, discussions that I've had in my real life discussed in this book and done so beautifully. However, I will say, I hope I mentioned, but format or structuring around this book has to do with the main voice flipping a coin when she's asking the coin or the universe these questions, and the answer is given depending on what face the coin lands. Now, at first, I thought that was really unique and an interesting little like quirky framework, but now I just find it like kind of annoying, and I'm just like, can we just get back to what you were discussing? Because it kind of goes on for a little bit too long for me. Like there's oftentimes like 3 pages of just like questions and then yes and no answers, and it just feels a tad bit redundant, and I find myself like just skimming through. However, the actual substance and when she's engaging in conversation with these questions, that I find really interesting. So obviously the format is working and it's doing its job, but this is just like such a nitpicky, like annoying little comment that I have, or like, yeah, annoyance, minor annoyance that I guess I'm just protesting about for no good reason, because it's really just not that bad. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I have underlined. As you saw, it's actually been so nice to almost feel like I'm reading this along with whoever owned this previously. So I don't know, there's something really sweet about that. Obviously I don't know this person, but I feel like I know them. So yeah, I'm enjoying it thus far. Like I said, something about the pace of the book and how it makes me feel I really enjoy. And it's quite a contemplative read, like I've now said 1,000,000 times. But yeah. Don't mind me starting my bolognese at 9 a.m. Literally browning some meat in the early hours of the morning. I have a friend coming over tomorrow, and I figured I'd cook us something nice, but I won't have time to make the sauce tomorrow, so I figured may as well get it in when I can, and this is when I can. But while we wait for the magic to happen, I figured we could do a little motherhood wrap up. If you're wondering about my beautiful cup, my friend who's coming tomorrow, whose bolognese that's for, she gave me this, and I love her. She's everything. I love starting my morning with my girls. Okay, motherhood update, because we did some reading last night and this morning, which honestly I could have started this off much earlier because I woke up at 7:30. So something I don't think I've mentioned yet, but it's a reoccurring theme, I guess, in the book, is that she analyzes and walks us through her dreams, which I find that so fascinating because, again, it's something that I love to do in my personal life, to Charlie's great dismay. No, just kidding. He just has to sit through me not only like very critically walking through or walking back my dream, but then I want to engage in some sort of like conversation about the imagery and potential symbolism of my dream. So I really love reading about that when other people do the same thing. So anyways, I've just enjoyed Heti giving us a little inside scoop into her, or I guess the character in the book, what happens in the subconscious or unconscious state of our mind. So yeah, I really like that. There's also a lot of talk about her, or the voices narrator's relationship and young childhood years and her relationship with her mother, which I find fascinating. I think that's why I loved What My Mother and I Don't Talk About, that anthology that I read a while ago, and I still think about constantly, and we see a lot of that in this book and how that's informed how she navigates the world as an adult, but also her ideas around motherhood and how that's very much shaped her conception of what she would be like as a mother. So anyways, yeah, that I wouldn't even say undercurrent, because it's quite a present force in the book, is her relationship with her mother and her childhood. And I just have really enjoyed kind of tracing back the epicenter of where a lot of her notions around mothering and motherhood come from, as well as, like I said, how she turned out as an adult. Heti, I like you. I'm into you. We are vibing, so thank you. I knew I wanted to give you a second chance. It wouldn't be fair if I just judged based off of just a single book, you know? So anyway, let this be a lesson. Give that author a second chance, okay? Because you never know. Okay, I must get back to my sauce. Hello, it is snowing outside and I'm freezing to death. I have like a long sleeve sweater on top of another sweater, and I've got 3 duvets stacked on top of me. But anyways, I'm almost done Sheila Heti's Motherhood, and I'll come back with concluding thoughts, but this is just a random thought I had. But Sheila gives me such Pisces energy, and imagine my disappointment when I looked up her birthday and it's December 25th, which makes her a Capricorn, I think. But please comment downstairs if you also feel hella Pisces energy exuding from Sheila Heti, because I can't be the only one. Maybe I'm projecting because I'm a Pisces. But anyways, yeah, I'm vibing. We're vibing hard. It's a great meditative read. I'm off to the library soon because I'm going to pick up Writers and Lovers to read with Ben. And I'm really excited about that. And, or is it Lovers and Writers? Writers and Lovers? You know the one. anyways, I'm going to continue to read and vibe. Hey friends, I just got into work, as you can tell, and I realized that I never wrapped up this week's reading vlog. My brain has honestly been elsewhere and I just haven't really had the desire to turn on the camera in light of just devastating recent events. My heart is just really heavy, and so with that, I think I'm just gonna wrap things up here. I think I've already said everything that I want to say about motherhood. Maybe I'll do like a more in-depth discussion come my February wrap up, but I hope you enjoyed this kind of scattered video. I will see you all very soon, and yeah, take care. Bye.